Am I happy it has started raining? Yes. Am I also unhappy that it has started raining? Yes. Now, this is why I'm unhappy. Tell me why the heat that we're experiencing now is twice the heat we were experiencing before. And to even top it all, Ghana Meteorological Agency has come to declare that we are going to experience twice the heat that we were experiencing before. So, ladies and gentlemen, get your fans and your tissues or your handkerchiefs ready, because the heat that we are going to experience and the sweat that we are going to go through, and those who are having ACs are going to enjoy it. For those of us who are using fans, only God will save us. Hi, my name is Akosia Safi and this is Teachers on Duty. If you are new to this podcast, please, the first thing you need to do is hit the subscribe button. Yes, hit the subscribe button so that you can get updates and notifications on every episode. Episodes are dropped on every Saturday or Sunday. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about study leave with pay, the requirements, the conditions, and what makes you eligible for study leave with pay. If you're a teacher and you have plans of going back to school, if you're a teacher and you have plans of furthering your education, then you may need an option. You may want to go through the sandwich program, or you may want to take study leave from GES in order to focus on your studies, go for the normal regular university programs and then study appropriately. Now, you cannot just, you cannot just apply for study leave without knowing the conditions, without knowing the requirements, what makes you eligible. So today I'm going to take my time to break down the requirements, the conditions, and the things that makes you eligible for study leave with pay. The first thing you need to, put in your head, the first thing you need to understand is that you may have all the requirements for study leave with pay, but then you may not be eligible for study leave with pay. Once you understand it, it's going to make it very easy for you to. Sometimes people take their applications, people fill in their forms, and then at the end of the day, they don't get picked. Then they start to question, I went through all the requirements. I felt that I had all the things that I needed in order to get the study leave with pay, but then I ended up not getting it. Where I'm going to take my time to go through them. Then you understand that someone may have all the requirements, but the person may not be eligible. These are the requirements that you need to meet in order for you to be able to apply for study leave with pay. The first one is that you must serve at least 3 years after completing the College of Education. But if you serve, if you are serving at a remote area, if you are serving at a deprived area, you just have to serve for 2 years. Then you can apply for study leave with pay. So it means that those who are in the cities, those who are serving or working at not a remote area, or those who are serving at an urban community, can apply after 3 years of serving. But those who are serving at a rural area, they can apply after 2 years in the service. The second thing is that all qualified or all those who want to apply for study leave with pay must pursue an approved course as determined by the director of GES or as determined by GES. Someone may ask, so what are the approved courses that are determined by the director of GES? These are the approved courses. The approved courses are English language, mathematics, integrated science, physical education, ICT, that is information communication technology, French language, physics, chemistry, biology, special education, guidance and counseling, Ghanaian language, that is Ewe, Ga, Asante Tree, etc. All the Ghanaian languages we have in Ghana. Early childhood, visual arts, history, geography, religious studies, social studies, technical programs, supply and logistics, laboratory technician, library information studies. So you can see that study leave with pay is not only for teachers in the classroom, but it's for teachers. There are people who are not necessarily in the classroom, but they are serving in offices for GES. So people who are serving in offices for GES also have the chance to apply for study leave with pay. The next requirement is that GES staff who are pursuing second or third degree do not qualify for study leave with pay. GES staff who are pursuing second or third degree do not qualify for study leave with pay. This is why I need you to also understand that this particular requirement is dated. Okay, it was dated till last year, that is 2023. And I understand that there are new teachers coming into the system with degree in basic education, with degree in specialized subjects. So it means that maybe from this year going, from next year going, there is going to be a change for this particular requirement. But for now, those who are already holding their degree, okay, if you had diploma in basic education and you went ahead to do your degree, you do not have the chance to apply for study leave with pay. It is only given to those who do not have a degree and but they are holding diploma in basic education and they are willing to go to the extent of furthering their education to get a degree in education. The next requirement is that principal superintendents who obtain their rank through a sandwich program do not qualify to apply for study leave with pay. This in itself even explains the fourth point, in the sense that if you further your education, if you are in the system with diploma in basic education and you go ahead to further your education, you get a degree in basic education, that automatically moves you to the rank of SS to PS. Okay, so automatically you are in PS, so then you won't be given the chance to further your education in order to get PS. I mean, you already have PS, so why, if you want a study leave with pay, you should have used that chance that you wanted to further your education to get your degree in order to push you to the rank of PS. You should have applied for that. But now that you have PS, you're already in the principal superintendent, then you do not have the chance to apply for study leave with pay. I want to also repeat that this requirement, okay, the requirement that I have mentioned from 1 to 5 was dated till last year. So maybe this year there is going to be a change. But for now, these are the requirements that you need in order to apply for study leave with pay. The last point is that GES staff who are 55 years and above do not qualify for study leave with pay if the school or if the course they are going to study requires them to be on campus for 4 years. But if the course requires them to be on campus for just 1 year or 2 years, then they qualify for study leave with pay. The reason for this particular requirement is that after the study leave with pay, after you go to school, after you take the study leave to go to school, you will need to come and serve for at least 2 years at your location that you were, at the school that you were. So if you are 55 years and above, and the course or the program you are going to study at school requires you to be on campus for 4 years, you will be 59 by then. And then you cannot serve for the 2 years that you are required to serve. You'll be 59 and you have just a year to go for pension. You can't serve for the 2 years. But then if the course requires you to be on campus for just a year or two, you'll be 56 or 57 and you get the chance to serve the 2 years that is remaining for you to serve at the location that you were before you left for the study leave. Now let's look at the eligibility. I've already mentioned that you may have all the requirements, but you may not be eligible. So let's look at the things that makes you eligible for study leave with pay. The first thing is that you should serve for a minimum of 5 years before you qualify for study leave with pay. You see the difference? You may have served, the requirement is that serve for 3 years at at an urban community, and if you are in the rural community or a deprived community, you should serve for at least 2 years. Now this is where it is. Someone may have served for 5 years and you have served for 3 years. That doesn't mean that you that have served for 3 years, because the requirement is that 3 years, you automatically get it. No, they will pick the person who has served for 5 years over you that have served for 3 years. So yes, you may have the requirements, but you are not eligible. The next thing is that teachers of critical subject areas like mathematics, English or linguistics, science and French must teach initially for 2 years before embarking on study leave with pay. Simply put, if you are aspiring to go learn one of these critical subjects, you must teach that subject for at least 2 years before you are eligible to go ahead to apply for study leave with pay. Okay, if you have not taught these subjects that I have mentioned, math, English or linguistics, science or French, if you have not taught any of these subjects for before, and you are applying to go study for these critical subject areas, then you are not eligible. You won't be picked. They will pick someone who has taught that particular subject for at least 2 years over you that have not taught the subject at all. Members returning from secondment must serve a minimum of 2 years before they become eligible for any study leave with pay. When we say secondment in the teaching profession, it means that, for instance, you are at a post, okay, and your services were required by a different assembly or a different area. Now automatically you'll be given a transfer letter to go there for the number of years that your services have been asked to be given to that particular area. After that number of years that you have served at that particular area, after you leave to that place and you have served for, let's say your services were needed for a year or two, okay, after the 1 year or the 2 years, when you come back to your formal place of work, you need to serve for at least 2 years at your formal place of work before you are eligible for study leave with pay. So I think that this particular requirement, okay, eligible requirement, is for persons who are at the GES offices. Sometimes their services may be required by different assemblies, by different offices, and they will leave their post to that particular place for a number of years. After they are done with serving that particular place and they come back to their formal post, formal area, they need to serve at that place for 2 years before they are eligible for study leave with pay. So that is basically what secondment means. The next thing is that members who vacate the service and are re-engaged must serve a minimum of 5 years before being eligible for study leave with pay. Now I think this is self-explanatory. If you vacate the service, let's say if I leave the service to go work, like I stop working with GES, okay, I vacate my post, I stop working with them. Then after some time I realize that, oh, teaching is something that I really enjoy, so I come back into the service. Okay, I need to serve for 5 years before I can apply for study leave with pay, and I think that is fair. Some people can come and then they will essentially come thinking that they are going to stay. No, immediately they are done with study leave, they will leave. So 5 years is reasonable to me. The next thing you need to be eligible for is teachers pursuing courses meant for non-teaching personnel will not enjoy study leave with pay. So for instance, I'm in a classroom, okay, I'm a teaching personnel and I want to go and study logistics and logistics. Let's just say I want to go and study logistics. Because I am in the classroom, there is no way they will give me that course to go and study, to go on study leave to go and study. If I want to go and study mathematics, if I have taught mathematics for 2 years and I feel like I would like to have study leave with pay to go and study mathematics, I am eligible. But if I want to go and study logistics. There is no way they will give me study leave with pay to go and study logistics. So that is it. Teaching personnel who want to go and study courses meant for non-teaching personnel will not enjoy study leave with pay. Non-teaching staff pursuing courses meant for teaching personnel will not enjoy study leave with pay. I think this is the opposite of what I just said. The same way, if you are a non-teaching staff and you want to go and study a course for teaching personnel, you will not be given study leave with pay to go and study that course. The last one is that study leave with pay will not be granted for part-time courses, or programs. So if you want to go and study a course which is part-time, no, you will not be given study leave with pay. Now, after all is said and done, there is a percentage in which GES picks, a percentage of people in which GES will select to go and to give study leave with pay to. Okay, so you may have all the requirements, you may be eligible, but at the end of the day, you were still not selected. That is because you do not cut for the percentage. You did not cut for the percentage. So the percentages are located for the subjects. So I'm going to mention the subjects in and their percentages. 60% for physics, chemistry, English language, biology, mathematics, information and communication technology, integrated science, physical education, French. These are the subjects that have been allocated 60%. So it means that GES is going to select 60% of the people that applied for these courses to go and study these courses. So let's say about 80% applied to go and study this course. But at the end of the day, GES is just going to take 60% of that 80%. Okay, GES is going to select only 60% of that 80%. The next percentage is 30%. 30% is for special education, Ghanaian language, early childhood, religious studies, visual arts, that is GKA, general knowledge in arts, creative arts and sculpture, guidance and counseling, vocational education, that is clothing and textiles, hospitality, management, catering, fashion and design, and management in living. Technical courses, that is tech drawing, electronics, applied electricity, refrigeration, welding, metal work, building construction, auto mechanic, auto works, draftsmanship, graphic designer. So 30% for these courses. So it also means that if 40% of people apply to go and study this course, GES is going to select only 30% of the 40%, and 10% for the following course: laboratory technician, library and information studies. So the same way, if let's say 20% of people apply to go and study these courses, GES is going to select only 10%. So GES is going to give study leave with pay to 10% of the people that applied for these courses. So these are the requirements and the things that you must be eligible for in order to get study leave with pay, and also the quota, the percentage in which GES is going to select for every subject. So knowing this is going to help you when you are applying for study leave with pay. I wish you all the best. If you have plans of applying this year, I wish you all the best. I'm very sure there are going to be certain changes because now there are many people, the new personnel coming in are they already have degree in education. So I'm sure there are going to be 1 or 2 changes in the requirements and in the things that you must be eligible for. All the same, this requirement and the eligibility is dated for last year. As I said earlier, it is dated for last year. As always, I am Akosia Safi. Please subscribe before we leave. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Until we meet again, bye.